Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. I'm the Director of Experiential Education here at Wilderness Adventures. And today I'm going to take 10-15 minutes to talk to you about travel and logistics. So, whether you are an already enrolled family for this upcoming summer or you are a prospective family, we hope that this will be informational and informative. And as always, please don't hesitate to give us a call if you've got any questions. Okay, so first thing to note is travel days. Before a trip, you will get a travel sheet with information about where to be and when to be there. Those arrival and departure windows are relevant whether you are flying to the location of the trip or you're dropping your student off in the car. Um, if you've got questions about those windows, obviously give us a call. We can make accommodations as we need to. And once you are at the airport, you will find your group because you will all be in matching t-shirts. This is a great way to, yeah, find new friends on airplanes and at gates and while traveling. So once you meet up with your group, you'll call home, check in, let your parents know you've made it, and then hand your phone over to the trip leaders who will communicate with your parents just to answer any last minute questions that they might have. And then the trip will really start. And this only looks different for unaccompanied minors. So unfortunately, this is just different for every airline. And so some groups, some students, you will meet your trip leader right at the gate. Like as soon as you walk off the airplane, they will be there to greet you. Other airlines, a gate agent will escort that student out all the way to baggage claim. It just depends on the airline. But the airline will have all the information needed. We will provide that to you, and you can give that to the airline. And then last thing of note is just if you want support booking your students' travel information, we highly recommend Aspen Travel. They're a great local to us, Jackson Hole travel company, and their strong suit is helping when crisis happens and delays occurs or cancellations happen and you need to rebook. So they're a wonderful resource should you want to utilize them. Okay, now we're going to get into what to pack and how to prepare for your trip. So, before a trip starts, you will get a travel sheet just like the one here. And generally, these all look pretty similar. The differences come into play when it's how long is your trip, what activities are you participating in, etc. So, when packing for a trip, we encourage folks to bring a day pack as their carry-on bag, and then either your backpacking backpack or duffel bag as your checked bag. And we do emphasize if you are bringing a duffel bag, make sure it's a durable duffel bag because it's going to be going from the trailer to the campsite to a different campsite. Maybe it's going to have some dirt on it, so make sure it's durable and okay getting a little dirty. Um, and when you are packing, just don't forget about key essential items that need to be in your carry-on bag, such as prescription medications, if you've got any toiletries that you definitely need, like contacts or glasses, um, just in the event that things happen and maybe something gets lost along the way, you make sure you have those things with you. And then when you are on the trip, when you're in the backcountry, you will obviously just have your backpack, what you need with you there. Everything else will stay in your duffel bag in the trailer with the rest of the WA gear. So there is always opportunity. You will only be carrying what you need with you, and additional items will be left behind securely. Okay, and then a huge piece we want to emphasize is breaking in your boots before the trip starts. There is no greater pain than blisters when you just want to enjoy the trip. So, after school, take your dog for a walk, wear your boots. You might feel like you look silly, but it will only benefit you in the long run. So, break those in. Even for our returning students who maybe you only use your boots once a summer, please break those in as well. And then just to highlight some optional items, we love reading alongside the river while you're waiting for your group to finish up making dinner. A journal is great if you're a journaler. If you love taking photos, we encourage you to bring a camera. Anything that's gonna feel like will enhance your experience, we totally encourage you to bring that along. Okay, and now this is kind of the nuts and bolts of all of our trips. So I will start by talking about our trip leaders, who really are the heart and soul of what makes Wilderness Adventures tick. They are fantastic folks who come from great backgrounds of lots of experience in the backcountry and camping and outdoor living skills, and tons of experience working with students. So they are wonderful folks that obviously we're biased, but we believe deeply in. Their hiring process is very thorough. They'll apply, go through a multiple interview process. We'll run background checks and do reference checks. And if they go through all of those and pass what we call the Holland Litmus Test, which is that our directors, Tom and Catherine Holland, have four wonderful kids who have all done WA programming, um, and know exactly what they want out of trip leaders from the parent perspective. So once they make it through that whole process, we'll make them an offer. Once hired and on our team, there are certifications that they have to have. And so this kind of goes into the next topic of risk management. So all of our staff have to have CPR certification and Wilderness First Responder certification, and then any specialized certification depending on the trip they're leading. That is also required. And once they are with us, the summer starts with 2 week staff training, and this whole training is done through the lens of risk management. So we obviously, our goal is to get students outside disconnected and fully connected with each other and with nature. And a huge piece of that to be able to fully enjoy that and to have fun is you have to be safe. So we really emphasize risk management and safety throughout our staff training. And for you to know some pieces of communication with our team during the summer, folks have regularly scheduled check-ins, so we hear from them throughout the trip. And should an emergency occur and they don't have cell service, all trips have a satellite phone and a personal locator beacon, and some trips even have additional forms of communication depending on where in the backcountry they're heading. So they're fully equipped, they're ready to support your students, and we are ready to support them should anything occur while they are out in the field. Okay, and then heading into the itinerary. So, all groups, you'll get an itinerary before the trip starts. It'll show what activity you're doing each day and where you're staying. The only time this will change is if something occurs on the trip, which if we're going to recreate outside, that is common. So, an example might be there's some bad weather, so you can't go surfing because it's not safe to be in the water. So instead, we might switch community service from the next day to today, and then we'll go surfing once the weather is better. So we do our best to keep the itinerary as is, and any adjustment that we make is out of the safety of the students. And then for accommodations, so as you can see in this photo, you're going to be in a tent all summer long while you're with us. So an exception here would be some sections of our international trips might be in refugios or hostels. But for the bulk of all of our trips, you will be in a 2 to 3 person tent with group mates. And those will be set up in either the backcountry or the front country. So backcountry while you're backpacking, along the lake while you're sea kayaking, or it might be at a front country campground. And the perk there is that you might have some bathrooms and running water, but you'll still be in those tents the whole time. Okay, and the next thing to talk about is food. So we totally recognize that we're asking folks to step out of their comfort zones by joining us on trips. And a huge piece of where we can find comfort every day is 3 meals a day when we are eating communally and just having good food that's both nourishing and a space of familiarity. So we pride ourselves in our food. You can imagine in the backcountry, you might have some really good pita pizza. You might have like a taco night that some people might want a burrito, some people might want a taco, but you've got all the toppings that you could imagine. In the front country, you might have an amazing, immaculate I don't know, waffle breakfast with fresh strawberries and blueberries and maybe even some whipped cream on top, and some yogurt on the side. So we really do our best to provide great, nourishing food for everyone. And with that, if you have a dietary restriction or an allergy, we almost likely can accommodate that. We've accommodated almost all of them out there. So if that's a hesitation of yours or a concern, please don't hesitate to let us know. Okay, and then going on to communication. So during the summer, before the trips start, you'll get access to the WA app, and this is what it looks like on the interface. This is where we will submit trip updates, so you'll get photos and a little blurb about what's been happening on the trip a few times throughout the trip. It's an awesome way to get some photos of your student, and to just get a glimpse of what they're up to. And outside of that, no news is good news. So if you're not hearing from us, that's a great thing. It means the students are out there and they're having fun. If there are small pieces of information that we need to communicate, like the example earlier of weather interrupts the itinerary, so we switch things around, we might send that as a blast through this application. And otherwise, any bigger things, such as a student needing to go to a clinic for an injury or an illness, or leading up to departure day if we need new information, that obviously we will give you a phone call and follow up with an email. But otherwise, no news is good news from us. And then if trip updates aren't enough or you need support on something or a flight number changed, you can give our office a call anytime. We are staffed 24/7 throughout the summer season and we're ready to support you. Okay, and that is everything that I've got for you. So, key takeaway here is that we were founded in 1973. So, we have so much experience and we are here and ready to support your student. If you are already signed up for the summer, we cannot wait to have you join us. You can head to your Camp in Touch account, check out that paperwork, see if you have any forms missing, call us if you've got any questions there. And if you're a prospective family, go to our website, check out our trip list, check us out on social media, see what you see. If you like it, give us a call. If you're ready to enroll, do that online. And as always, give us a call anytime. We're excited to see you out on the trail this summer. Thanks so much.